Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan, along with Leslie Visser, pinch hitting tonight for our ailing Mary Carrillo. We hope she'll be back tomorrow night. Leslie, the story of night 4, the defending champions here at the U.S. Open, Boris Becker and Steffi Graf, serving notice that they have no plans of relinquishing their titles, at least not without a fight.
Tim, this is the first day here that we didn't have heat, we didn't have humidity, so the quality of play was determined by the players, and Boris and Steffi dominated.
Well, they seem to enjoy the weather out there. Boris Becker and Steffi both looking very sharp. Out on the stadium court, Becker met an old pal of his, former French Open champion, Yannick Noah. Noah, at 30 years of age, had won a 5-setter to get into the second round, but today he faced Boris Becker, a whole different matter. Becker won the first set 6-4. He's at 2-1 here in the second.
Tim, this match probably looked a lot more competitive on paper, but Yannick Noah is just not playing well.
Becker's pass down the line gives him that game, and it's 3-2 Becker in the second set. Noah, a crowd-pleasing player, especially here in New York, where he has many, many fans. Tried his best as always, but as you said, Leslie, just not up to the kind of play thrown at him by Becker.
Becker had his serve broken only once in the entire match. Noah really didn't pressure him.
Becker in command at the net, blocks another volley, and takes the second set, 6-3. At 2-all in the third, Noah was fighting gamely to keep the match going, and nearly full house enjoying the action. Fine shot by Becker, and that's just wide.
Boris usually works his way slowly into a Grand Slam event, but he's been cruising here first 2 matches in straight sets.
Noah with a 5-3 lead, but at 5-6, Becker trying to force the tiebreak.
Gives it the Kirk Gibson pump there.
Into the tiebreak, this is point number 1. Another gorgeous pass down the line for a 1-0 lead. And at match point, again, Becker in command, a beautiful cross court. And afterwards, we asked him about playing against his friend Noah.
I not only know him on the court, I know him also off the court, and he's a very nice man. And in a way, it's more difficult if you like somebody more. But then, you know, he's a fair player, then it's all right.
One footnote about the 22-year-old defending champion. A very classy moment when he was signing autographs. He noticed that Noah, 8 years his senior, was leaving the court, possibly for the last time. Watch him glance over, watching Noah pack his bag. He's signing autographs, doing the things that fans have come to expect. Then he leaves the autograph seekers because he will not let Noah leave the court alone. And this early in a tournament, it's very common for one player to disappear on the other. A typically gentlemanly and sportsmanlike gesture on the part of Boris Becker. And Leslie, have we in fact seen the last of Yannick Noah?
Tim, there is speculation that Yannick Noah will retire, and I asked him after the match if he were going to take a break now, and his words were, "If I take a break, it will be for good."
Well, what we hope, of course, that that's not the case, but Becker seemed genuinely upset when he came in to visit us here in our CBS studio after the match, as though maybe he knew that that was the last of Yannick Noah. Well, meantime, for the women's defending champion, it was another day at the office as Fraulein forehand spanked Rachel McQuillan of Australia. A 19-year-old ranked number 45 in the world from Merriweather, South Wales. She seemed a little nervous at the beginning of this match.
Tim, Rachel McQuillan had nothing either mentally or physically to challenge Steffi Graf. In fact, it took her only 55 minutes to win.
Graf won the first game and then broke quickly in the second. Beautiful shot. And she jumped into a 5-1 lead. McQuillan serving here at 1-5 in the first set.
Steffi plays with such authority that finally her talent just asserted itself.
Showing the backhand volley, one of her few forays to the net, but it was a successful one. And both players were happy to see the beautiful weather, and the first time we've seen the moon all week amidst the stormy New York weather. In the second set, we're at 2-all. Graf keeping the pressure on, but McQuillan started to grow in confidence, Leslie. Played a little better, brought it back to 3-2.
Yeah, she pushed her a little bit, but that's really where Steffi bears down, and I think Steffi has to spend more time with the media after the matches than she does during them.
She sailed through the first set, but with that fine pass down the line by McQuillan, she brought it to 3-all in the second. Graf serving. And again, coming to the net, finds an overhead and went on to win it and spoke with Leslie.
What about the first 2 rounds? You've dropped only 6 games. Are you playing just about the way you'd want to be?
Yeah, I've done the first 2 matches the way I wanted to get them over with, and so I'm looking forward to the next ones.
And just what about the importance of this Grand Slam to you? How do you sum it up?
Well, any Grand Slam is just very important, and everybody's taking it really serious, and the 2-week tournament is very tough to get through.
Well, a very relaxed and confident Steffi Graf, very much in form.
Tim, I think that her lapses early this year in both the French and Wimbledon mean that she's coming here with as much, if not more, motivation than both Monica Seles and Martina.
Well, and I think what people forget because of all of her talent is that she's a very tough competitor, and she's got a lot to prove this year, and I think she knows full well that despite the tough youngsters ahead of her in the draw and Martina, she's ready to play. Still to come, a night of pure Agassi. Also, Jenny's from heaven. And a superstitious San Diegan. Cross your fingers as the Open continues on CBS. Back at the U.S. Open, a Florida girl 4 years shy of voting age continues to be the people's choice. Her name is Jennifer Capriati, and today the 13th seed met Patricia He of Canada. In the first set, Capriati with a 2-1 lead.
Well, I thought she was playing really well, and, you know, on her forehand, she was making a lot of winners, and then she was really hitting it.
40-30.
In the second, I think, you know, she wasn't as on as she was in the first, and I started cutting back on the errors, but I thought she played really well.
So with a set in hand and Capriati's own description of events, we're in the second set here with Capriati up 2 games to love, and He serving.
Patricia He's been around for a while. She's 25 years old. She had nothing really to hurt Capriati with.
And Stefano, the proud papa, pleased with the way things are going in this match against Patricia He. So Capriati, another routine victory, and afterwards spoke with John Dockery.
And I saw you afterwards taking some time to sign some autographs. You had the fastest autograph in the business.
Well, I had to cut it down to Jen instead of Jen Capriati.
Jennifer, you know, you are America's sweetheart, not just here in New York, everywhere you're out with your cool dude friend, the mayor, you know, around town. What's it like?
I think it's just really fun, and it's kind of, you know, weird. It was weird at first, you know, that people know me, but now it's just really fun.
A lot of people don't know that Jennifer was actually born here in New York City.
That's true. Jennifer's getting an awful lot of the attention, but Patricia He is an interesting story herself. She's listed as a Canadian, but in fact, 19 years ago, her family walked out of Cambodia during the killing field.
Well, quite an interesting story, and that's so true about this great game of tennis. All of the international players that bring a special flavor and a lot of interesting stories to the game. Well, no stranger to creating a stir amongst the fans, Andre Agassi, the denim dynamo turned day-glow demon, met some resistance tonight from an unexpected Korda, Petr Korda of Czechoslovakia. It was a real good match, perhaps the best certainly on the stadium court so far in this tournament. In set 1, Agassi down 2-3 and brings it to 3-all in the first set. But Petr Korda was just blasting away from all directions, had a lot of errors, but nonetheless created a lot of predicaments for Agassi, who had to blast right back. There's a sample right there that made it 5-all in the first set. Now Agassi up 6-5 and serving for the set.
13-15.
Blasts an ace down the middle. Went on to win the set 7-5. In the second set, he's serving here at 2-3. Korda's forehand reminded me of Agassi's much of the time, Leslie. He can really hit it.
Actually, he reminds me a little bit of Ivan Isevich. He hits wildly, and most of the time it goes in.
So Agassi won the set, but in the second set, Korda came back, and at 5-all, he was making it a long, difficult evening. Now, there is a disputed call here. Agassi thought it was good, obviously.
Code violation, audible obscenity, warning, Mr. Agassi.
A warning from the umpire. That brings him back to the chair. He wound up with a point penalty assessed and then rescinded after a consultation with the referee. Brother Phil just laughed the whole thing off. Porta takes the lead at 6-5 in this set. Set point against Agassi. And so Porta takes the second set 7-5, and the fans, a full house at the stadium, knew they were in for a real exciting match tonight.
Porta's a great doubles player, and he showed it in that set. He just didn't quite have enough to put Agassi away.
Well, in the next set, Porta trying to come alive here, but Agassi up 4-zip just wouldn't let him into this one. Great return there. He went on to win that set 6-love in very businesslike fashion. So now up 2-1. Agassi serving in the fourth at 1-2. Porta was not about to go quietly. Look at that shot. 22-year-old from Prague provided plenty of excitement and picked up a lot of fans here tonight. Agassi now leading 4-3. And down goes Porta at the baseline, and he was really hurt. You saw him slip. It had happened earlier, but he didn't turn his ankle. This time, he twisted it badly and needed attention from the trainer. He took an injury timeout, had it taped, came back for more. Got to match point, but he was a dead man at this point.
I thought he showed a lot of determination, though, Tim, just to come back out.
Agassi.
Well, like I said, he impressed the fans, and he impressed Andre Agassi, who won the match. And we spoke with Andre on the court afterwards. Andre, I'm sure you already know by now you provided the most entertainment of this U.S. Open so far, and you had a lot of help from Peter Korda.
Oh, man, I tell you what, he's a tough young player, you know. He goes for a lot of big shots, and he makes some, he misses some, and he's real dangerous. So it's important in a match like that just to bear down mentally and not let anything slip away.
Well, there was something to bear down mentally over the line call in that third set.
Yeah, there's no question that that there are a lot of bad line calls out here. You know, I think with the lights and everything, I think people are seeing them differently, the linesmen and us. You know, we make as many mistakes as the linesmen do. So, you know, it's tough to say, but I just feel good about the fact that I bear down and through it all. You know, I was still the one standing.
Now, how do you feel about your chances here?
Well, you know, I played so well at the French, and it seems like when I get into the big Grand Slam tournaments, I really do get focused. And I guess really it all speaks for itself, you know. Edberg got beat, and anything can happen out here, but by the same token, anything can happen. So I'm hoping to do well. I think that I got a good few rounds ahead of me, and I'll have to play some solid tennis, but I'm ready to rise to the occasion.
Well, the Day-Glow dude certainly has... Well, you noticed that the Day-Glow dude carried his own pen for signing autographs.
That's true. He comes well equipped. You know, someone who was it, Rino Tomasi, the Italian journalist, described his clothes as what they wear in Italy to repair the roads at night.
Well, you can't miss him, that's for sure. He hasn't been hit out here so far. Well, let's see how the other seeded men fared on this night 4. Number 8, Brad Gilbert took out Rick Leach in straight sets. Amos Monsdorf is next for him. Number 9, Aaron Krickstein, an easy winner over Jason Stoltenberg. And one-time Wimbledon champ Pat Cash will be his next opponent. The 11th seed Michael Chang advanced past Jimmy Arias in straight sets. Well, on the grandstand tonight, number 13, Jay Berger, defeated Johan Carlsen as the last Swede bites the dust. An upset on court 3, Gary Muller of South Africa banished number 14, Jim Courier, in 4 sets. And number 15, Goran Ivanisevic, this year's improved model Yugo, also advanced into the 3rd round. Tonight's new kid on the block, our young smash, is 20-year-old Andre Cherkasov. Here at the U.S. Open, you have to like a Soviet player who was born on the 4th of July. Yes, Cherkasov sent Henri Lecomte down for the count, and Michael Chang awaits him. And as we round out the men's scoreboard, a reminder that Leslie will return with the story of a 16-year-old who leads, shall we say, a charmed life. We'll be back.